Hear me?
I did. I can hear you now. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for doing this for us.
Oh, my pleasure.
People have been asking to have you back since you did our breakfast like a year ago, year and a half ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So, yeah.
How are you guys finding things these days? A lot of people panicking?
Um, yes and no. I'm not hearing a whole lot of panic. But my husband is a commercial loan officer. So a floor below me is where all the panic is happening. Now that we're all working at home, it's really interesting. So I've kind of been much more aware. One of the things I've realized is how much I've learned a lot about business, about um, myself, about just going with your gut and flying and trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me how much I have learned. Never watched so much TV and read so many press releases in my life. I've never read so many executive orders, learned so much about loans, and I'm preparing myself for all this, and nobody's called and asked me a question. I'm like, okay, well, at least I know it.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
Sandler Corporate has really put together a bunch of seminar type stuff for us. Along with, we've all banded together from a Sandler perspective to talk about all the financial ramifications, and the things that everyone can do with the payroll protection. And there's so many webinars about, the coronavirus now, and then dealing with PPP with the whole, payroll protection program and everything. That's sort of, it's bombarding my inbox for
Right,
sure.
it is. I've gotten to the point where I've just started posting everything as news releases, because who am I to decide what's important to someone and what's not? So I let them read everything I get. And that's kind of why it's just up on the website. Every time something comes through, I just put it up there, and I figure it's all the information's there for somebody else to figure out what they need to know,
Right.
because who am I to make that decision?
Right. No,
So
absolutely.
yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
that it is. Now, do
So
people register for this, or are people just
yeah,
gonna? Right.
well, we have registration, and then we'll have a lot of pop-ons. We have 12 registrations, but we will have a lot of pop-ons, um, which is usual for what we've been doing. So
And it starts at 4.
yes.
All
And
right.
my call I was on was snoozer. So it's on in the background on the laptop, but
Yeah.
um, it's interesting because this one's on nonprofits, but it's still only covering 501c6, and almost everything that we are a 501c. No, it's covering 501c3s. We're a C6, and it's
Okay.
very hard to get any information on a C6.
Got it.
So
Got it. So, I'm wondering, am I just able to share my screen, or do you have to give me control to share my screen? Let's
I
see.
think you can. I think I have it set so you can do that already. You want to try it?
Yeah, let me try it. Let me just make sure I'm doing it the right way here, and then I'll minimize this. Go back to the Zoom. Share screen. Let's see. All right, are you able to see that?
Yep, perfectly.
Okay, good. Let's see if it progresses. Um, one more time. I have to make sure I'm viewing the right one myself. Put it in the right mode. Bear with me.
I'm no problem. I'm doing my thing too over here, so we're good.
Okay, it's moving, right?
Yes, now it is.
Now on this slide, do you just see the slide, or do you see all my notes on it too?
Just a slide.
Okay, good. And that's what we need to do. Some slides I'm going to skip, but how much time do we have? About 20 minutes and then some Q&A or?
20, 30, if there's engagement, we keep doing it.
Okay. Do we want to take Q&A in the midst or have them put it in the chat box or wait to the end?
I've been doing the chat box.
Okay.
So if something's up, you can read the chat box if everybody's doing it to everyone, right? So,
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm responding to a question about a baked potato for dinner. So, we've been doing it that way, but also if people are nice and quiet, then we can open it up depending on how many people are in the group and what the group seems like. So you can kind of get a feel. Most everybody's been really good about being quiet and listening, but they're still learning how to use their hands to raise the hand button.
Okay.
So we're working on that.
Got it.
So.
Okay. No problem. No problem. I appreciate you jumping on a little bit early. One of the things we teach our clients all the time is, to make sure all your technology is working, make sure that you know how many times I've logged into a webinar where it's been a cluster where something's not working.
We, the first one we did, we used free conference call, and it was a disaster. So I switched to Zoom right away and then went from Zoom free to Zoom paid. And I've been very happy with it ever since.
So what's the difference you notice between Zoom free and Zoom paid? I mean, I'm a Zoom paid guy, but
yeah, and from what I'm understanding, especially from my kids who are using it, the Zoom paid is stronger connection, so it doesn't cut in and out as much. And I think I don't remember why I went to the paid. I don't remember. But that was one of them. It's cheap though. It was like $15 a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
exactly.
The only thing I don't like it is I can't ask my assistant Jill to, like, for example, today we were trying to do, if I was held up on what the webinar was, to have Jill like welcome you and test it out and admit everybody, but you have to pay $15 for another host. Like it's per month per host. So if I wanted to have somebody else who could also host on my Zoom, it's another $15 for them.
I've never done that because I've always been the host, but if you give them your
she could sign in as me, but I don't know if she could sign in as me at the same time I'm signed in as me. Because I would still be on it. She was just going to handle the starting part.
Yeah, you could just give her control, I think. I think there's a way to do that, but I don't remember.
Yeah, we played around with it a little bit today. She goes, you don't want me having control over this anyway. I'm going to let her in now, actually, so you can meet Jill.
Okay.
She's the only one I'm letting in right now. There's other people waiting, but she's coming. Hey, Jill, I'm going to unmute you. This is Scott.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Nice to meet you.
You as well.
You want a little trick while we're waiting for the others? Go into your Zoom. Go under where it says your camera. There should be like a little arrow where it says video. And if you click on that arrow, you should see something under video settings that says virtual backgrounds.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You could put in your own cool little virtual background.
We could, although people really like my dog.
That's very true.
They like to see my dog laying there all day, every day. He moves from one side of the pillows to the other.
So since I built a little studio in my home office, because I do a lot of remote training anyway. More than half my business is remote. There's days where I'm the only one in my training center in Wall, and I have 30, 40 people on the monitor. But I haven't been going to my training center. I've still been doing it out of my house. And the biggest difference I find is that I have 3 dogs that one of them is a major barker, and she barks at every little thing. And when she starts, the other ones start. So I'll be on the middle of calls and the dogs will start barking. So I forewarn you now.
Okay. It could have. It's okay. We're a very dog-friendly chamber.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
They even know they even know where my window is. If they're outside in the yard, they know where my office window is, and they know I'm in here. They will sit out my window and bark and cry and jump up. On me.
oh no,
Yeah.
no. The only problem we have with him sometimes is he'll start scratching at inappropriate places, and I get text messages from those people that know me well enough. Block the dog. I'm like, oh no. Those are, or thank goodness we weren't talking during the thunderstorm because he freaked out and started shaking so bad I thought he was going to have a seizure. It was terrible. But
I've learned to embrace it. I remember back in the day, I would be so tightly wound that if I'm in the middle of a call or a training and my kids would walk in and I'd sit there and I'd shoo them all out. Now I'm like, who cares? Come on in.
Come on
my
in.
My wife didn't realize I was on a video call the other day, and she was leaving. She was going to do some errands or going for a walk, whatever. And she comes in the office and gives me a kiss goodbye. I'm like, I got 30 people on the screen.
Yeah, we have that a lot. My husband will come in, the girls, it is what it is. They say hi to everybody and then leave.
Did you see, it was going around social media, that company Zoom meeting where one of the female participants, I guess, kind of forgot she was on video and she walked into the bathroom and sat down on the toilet?
I didn't see it, but I heard about it, which is why my friend texted me about my dog. She goes, I don't want you to be the viral video woman on a Zoom meeting with your dog in the background. Yeah, I heard about that. That would be me. I would forget that everybody can see what I'm doing and I just walk around about my business. But luckily, because I'm hosting, I'm stuck here. So I sit at the big screen where I can see everything.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm going to start letting people in.
Yeah.
We have 3 people waiting, and hopefully more will be joining us. Hello, people.
Hi, Miss Jennifer.
Hey, Kevin. Allison, glad to see everything's
Good
working
day.
for you.
Hi, Jill.
Hey, Kevin, how are you?
Oh, another day. It's been a really shitty day, but I still have a job. So
Oh, that's good. That's right. You had a worried day earlier, but you still have a job, so you're good.
Oh yeah. Salary is down 15%.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I mean, I can't complain because there's another bracket that's down 30%, and there's people who don't have jobs. So
Right.
I have to kind of play devil's advocate and stay optimistic. So.
Yes, you do, Kevin.
But yeah, at least still have a job.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
How you doing?
We're all good. You love chatting. This is Scott. You can say hi to Scott. Everybody
I
welcome
know Scott.
Hi, Scott.
I know Scott, but I didn't even see him because you went right to the screen share. Hi, Scott.
Scott went to the screen share. That's his.
Oh, so it's Scott's fault.
Uh-huh.
He's not even talking, so I guess he's mad at me. Oh well.
No.
Matt, I said hello. Can you hear me? Okay?
Oh, there he is.
I'll be back in a minute.
Hey, Andrea, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know. I've been traveling. Now I can't travel, so here I am.
Oh, there you go. There's 8. I can't see. There's 8 people logged in. Look at that. Brian's here. Andrea, Deb, and Allison.
Yeah. Brian, we don't know who Brian is.
Brian's awesome.
Brian hasn't introduced himself to us. We don't know who he is. He didn't give us an email. How are we supposed to find him?
If this is the Brian Duffy that I know, he's awesome. He's on the Brookdale board with me.
Oh, well, he needs to identify himself.
1 second.
If it's the Brian
wait.
Duffy I know, he's the owner of an Allstate insurance business.
Yes. Yeah, Brian Duffy.
It's the same Brian. Well, hello, Brian Duffy. Everyone else knows you but me.
I hope it's the same Brian Duffy. I mean, good Irish name, but
He's totally ignoring us all because he hasn't responded one little bit to that
well,
conversation.
well, it says he doesn't have a microphone or a video.
So he's on his phone
Probably.
because he could type a message in the chat, but he's not doing that either.
Jennifer, you'll appreciate this. Do you know
will.
Van Dusen from the middays on our
Yeah.
station?
Yeah.
He got kicked off our call today because he accidentally shared his screen while they're talking about all the big salary cuts and all that crap.
Oops.
And the partner was like, "Yeah, you're off. Someone go explain it to him afterwards."
Oops. Oopsies.
Oh yeah. But at least the sun's out.
But the sun is out. The storms have passed.
What was on his screen, Kevin?
You know what? I didn't look too hard, but like as the partners are talking, his screen pops up and he's not answering them, and he's like, you know what it was? I think it was just the Zoom thing.
Got it.
But I think I told Jennifer about this. My friend works for the suicide prevention hotline. They had an event the other day, and their Zoom meeting was hacked, and there was some inappropriate videos that were playing during their fundraiser.
Yeah. Yeah. So something you want to do with that, because I've been hearing a lot about that too. You could just check the little box when you send out your Zoom invitations to have a password. So pretty easy to do, but I guess what they want you to do is just make sure you log in, there's a password associated with it, and then Zoom will prompt you to put in that password, and you can make up the password, so it can be whatever you want.
And if you think about it from the terms of like a fundraiser or something like that, you can make it a very simple password, but still protected.
Yep.
And the thing about that is people have to register so that they can get the password. And that's where we've kind of questioned what we're doing. So we're still working on those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think everyone who's registered is with us now, Scott. So I'll still let people in as we're going, but if you want to go ahead and get started, you can do that if you'd like.
Okay.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah, thank you everybody for joining us at the EMACC video. It is afternoon, 4 o'clock. So if you've poured yourself a beverage and made yourself some snacks, have at it. I've been told this isn't the happiest of happy hours, even though I keep trying. But, you know, I forgot to make my drink. I was working all day. So anyway, Scott's here to entertain us, teach us how to lead in uncertain times. And when I asked Scott to speak with us, I asked him to make sure that it wasn't just leading as a manager or leading as a business owner, but in a way to just shine as a leader of whatever. Lead personally, lead in your business, lead in your industry, to lead. So hopefully he's going to work with us on that. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Scott Bliss from Sandler Training.
All right. Well, thank you. And yeah, absolutely. What we have here, it's about leading in uncertainty, and it's whether you're leading a team of people or whether you're a solo entrepreneur, these principles will still apply regardless. As it relates to questions, there's a number of ways we can do this. I could go through a few things here, and we can talk about different things as they come up, or we can use the chat box. We'll have plenty of time for Q&A at the end. You know, whatever everybody's more comfortable with, I'm okay with from that aspect. For those of you not familiar with Sandler Training, we are a sales and management training and development organization. Typically, we work with CEOs, business owners, sales folks who sometimes are frustrated that maybe their sales quota attainment is inconsistent, or they're concerned that they have a lot of stagnant sales pipelines, or really they're just frustrated as well that they're not developing enough new prospects on a consistent basis. So that's typically what we do. Our clients range from Fortune 500 companies all the way down to the solo entrepreneur. I got several clients that are one-man shows that come to us for training and coaching. So we're very flexible in that right. So really what we do at Sandler is, you know, it's a learning process. We work with folks from an awareness perspective to make them aware of some things that they might want to work on or change about their sales process or their leadership process. We give as much knowledge as we can in our time together. Typically, we'll have about 30 minutes today. And then we'll give you some skill sets to maybe practice a little bit, but obviously we don't have the time to perfect them all. And then the skills turn into mastery as you practice them and get comfortable with them. We can participate in the chat, and I know there's some things that just popped up in the chat. Jen, I don't know if you want to, take a look at them. I'm not looking at the chat as.
Yep, I got the Jill and I'll handle the chat. We got it covered. Allison, are you hearing us now?
So.
Yeah.
One thing I'm going to ask, and there's a small enough group, we can shout these out. You don't have to put these in the chat, but what is one thing that you're struggling with right now in today's environment? What's something that you're struggling with right now?
I unmuted, so go ahead. Anybody who wants to shout out, what are things you're struggling with right now?
I'll go. Can you hear me?
Go, Jane.
I'm concerned, and I only have, one or two employees on site at my facilities, but my one concern would be we're open, so they're going to work, even if it's limited hours, and we do have rentals online and all of that, but they're having some anxiety, obviously. I'm back in my office, home office, not really going there too much, only to pick up mail or whatever, but they have some anxiety, and yet I feel like they're kind of they're doing a great job because they're there for me, if customers need them, but it's just the anxiety with everything that's happening. How do we alleviate that, or how do I motivate them to feel better about, being on site, I guess.
Got it. Okay. We will definitely touch upon that.
Scott, is there any way you can turn your microphone up, Scott?
Yeah, I can even get closer to it as well.
Yeah, you're light compared to everyone else.
Okay. No problem. You tell me if that's better as I get closer to the microphone. So, okay.
It's definitely better than it was.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else want to share something they're struggling with right now?
Go ahead and raise
okay.
your hands, I guess.
So we'll circle back around to that. Then no worries. So here's something to really keep in mind. We're in crisis. We're in a pandemic. I get it. A lot of craziness going on out there. But I think we can all agree that this crisis is temporary. The world definitely is changing, and I think our worlds are going to change a little bit from this. But I have this slide up here just really only to show 9/11 was a major crisis. And then obviously the issues with the economy in 2008, another major crisis, which people have continued to work through and rebound from. A lot of changes, but this too shall pass. And I want everybody to keep that in mind, that this too shall pass. And I want to bring up something that we talk a lot about at Sandler, which is our success triangle. I'll go back to that in a second. I forgot to mention one thing on this slide. If you look around your industry, we all have a lot of competition. And right now, people are either going to fight, flight, or freeze, right? So what are your competitors going to do? Some of them will use this time as an excuse to kind of let up on the gas, to decrease production, to lower momentum. It's tempting to sort of stay in your comfort zone. I deal with a lot of clients every day who call me up and say, Scott, I'm a salesperson. I just don't feel right calling people up and trying to sell them something at this point in time. And they're right. We don't necessarily have to call people up to try and sell them something in this period of time, but we still need to care about our clients. And that's an acronym that we use at Sandler. We still have to reach out to our clients, make sure they're doing okay, check in with them. How's everything going? If you're an essential business and you're up and running, let them know that, hey, we're here to help you, whatever you need. Same thing with your prospects, people that you've been talking to for a little while that maybe are not customers yet. You still need to reach out and touch them, either by phone, by email, by text. Let them know you're here, you're still working, you're essential. Because the worst thing that can happen right now is if we all just sit back and take a break, so to speak. We run the risk of when this is over or coming to its end, we're starting from ground zero. And many of us in sales, we will not have a pipeline. We're going to have to start right then and there to rebuild it. So take the time now to clean out your pipelines. Reach out to your clients. Again, not an attempt to sell them anything, but to find out how they're doing. Do they need anything? That you're still here if they need you, things like that. You also want to understand that your sales cycle is going to become longer because of this. So that's something we have to really look out for and understand, that our sales cycles, and that we will bounce back from this, but this is not the time to just sit on our laurels and rest and not do anything. Let your competitors do that. You still need to figure out how to speak to your clients, doing things like this with Zoom. I have a lot of face-to-face meetings now on Zoom, none in person, which we all know, but embrace the technology as well and utilize it. The Sandler success triangle is something that we preach at Sandler quite a bit. And really, to have the success that we want, we have to make sure that we have the right attitude. Attitude sits on top of the triangle, because without the right attitude, our behaviors and techniques will only take us so far. So we have to have an abundance mentality. Our philosophy and our beliefs, we have to believe in what we're doing and what we provide. And our attitude really determines our why. That's our why we do what we do. Behavior is the what that we do. So if the attitude is the why, behavior is the what, right? That is, all right, I'm not seeing clients right now. I'm not going on sales meetings. I'm not going to the factory and having meetings with my leaders. Jane, this goes back to maybe your question of you're not at the office meeting with your one or two employees who are concerned. You're not meeting with them in person. You're not able to have those types of in-person camaraderies and conversations, right? So what do we have to do about that to change our behavior? Using Zoom, using FaceTime, using Google, anything that you can do to still get that FaceTime with them. And then technique is the how. So attitude is the why, the behavior is the what, and the technique is the how. The personal presence that you have, the things that you use to be successful. And by connecting these three, it will give you the momentum, and that momentum will either positively or negatively depend on your outlook. And your outlook is your attitude. So again, we want to have what we call an abundance mentality. And I'll talk about what that means in a moment. Right. So this slide, how do you feel about your teams? You can also replace it with you. How do you feel about you or your team's personal presence, prospecting, pipeline, performance, and profit potential? Right? This all goes to the attitude triangle. Are you sitting at home watching the news, getting depressed? Are you waiting for Governor Murphy's daily press releases about how many more people have contracted the virus or how many more deaths we've had from it? Or really, are you taking this as an opportunity to not only work in your business, but work on your business? Now's the perfect time to not only clean your hands, but clean your pipeline. Take a look at that pipeline. It's a great excuse, a great reason to reach out to your prospects, your clients, to check in. Again, goes back to caring for your clients. How is everything going? How has this affected you and your business? Are you essential? Do you still have people working? Are they producing? And you want to ask them about the opportunity. Listen, I guess it's safe to assume this opportunity we've been talking about is kind of delayed for a bit. Is this something that, you know, is still going to occur? Maybe a little delays. I'm still closing business, guys. I don't mean that in a cocky way, but I still have clients coming to me, signing up for our programs. We're doing all our training virtually, and I could very easily just sit around and say, you know what, I'll wait till this is over, and then I'll go back to calling people. But I'm reaching out to people with the mindset of letting them know I'm here for them, not with the mindset of I want to sell them something, right? So you still need to make your calls, do your prospecting, clean out your pipeline, take a look at your performance, and when I say profit potential, take a look at your business, your strategy. There's a lot of businesses out there I see offering Corona discounts. My type of business, I don't see the value in offering a Corona discount, a COVID-19 discount. You're going to get a lot of clients potentially asking you that. What type of discounts are you offering, obviously, in this environment? So, take a look at your business, and is there a reason to discount? This should not be an excuse to discount. Right?
Scott, you have a question that came up. It's from Allison Forte. I'm an event design coordinator. My industry, like many, is directly impacted with the current situation. I'm wondering what's the best way to approach potential clients without coming off as insensitive. My pipeline is dead in the water until everything's resolved.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that my in-person training is dead in the water till this is involved. Everything's virtual now. And you're right, a lot of events are being canceled. I was booked to speak at several events around the country over the course of the next 6 months. They're all canceled. Or as the clients say, postponed until a later date. So I guess one of the things you might want to find out, Allison, is your events are postponed. Will they be reoccurring when obviously people feel more comfortable around what's going on in the world, right? So they're canceled for now, but are they really just postponed? And that's a tough one. You are in an industry where, you rely on these large gatherings of people getting together, and that's not happening right now. I wish I had a magic pill or silver bullet to give you.
Actually, Scott, they're really canceled. Like really, like my biggest clientele, corporations, companies, their events are canceled. We're not talking about nothing until this is resolved, because we're talking about not an event of 100 people, 200 people. We're talking an event of 1,000 or 400 people. So it's a big event.
Yeah.
And the small events, they don't want to put in risk their kids or their families.
Right. I mean, one thing you could do is potentially look at what we call a monkey's paw. And a monkey's paw is, how can, instead of the large event, how can it be now differentiated with a much smaller, everything done remotely? They still need to get their message out there. They still need to have meetings. Everything is going the Zoom way or the GoToMeeting way. And how do they break it up into smaller areas of what they're looking to accomplish? But I agree, you're definitely in one of those industries that is tough. And I'd be happy to talk to you a little bit more about that offline for sure. We can definitely schedule some time. I'd be happy to talk to you about that. So, right.
Scott, can you just get a little closer to the microphone? I apologize. I just want to make sure I can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm wondering why I'm having such an issue here. If it's my mic is all the way up. If it continues not to work, I'm going to unplug the mic and go just with the computer, which might be better.
Thank you. I apologize for interrupting. Thank you.
No, you're not interrupting at all. I need to know that. If you can't hear me, that's not good. All right. So I'm going to continue here. Again, going back to attitude, choosing your attitude. This is here what we call a self-fulfilling prophecy. So beliefs turn into judgments, judgments into actions, and actions into results. Right. So if you believe that nobody wants to talk to you, that people are more concerned about other things right now, then and if that's what you believe, that's going to turn into your judgment, and then you're not going to do anything about it. Right. And then when this is over, like I said, 30, 60, 90 days from now, when we're looking at that pipeline and it's barren, it's because of the maybe the negative beliefs that we let this occur with us today and now, right? So if you believe it, it will turn into a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I use an example quite frequently with my son. He was a high school baseball player, and every year he would play and he would win the starting left field job. And of course, then he would go into a little bit of a hitting slump, and he started going up to the plate thinking that he was going to strike out. And when he went up there every time with the fear of striking out, what do you think he did?
Struck out.
He struck out, right? So it's about adjusting that mindset, adjusting that belief that instead of saying, I'm going to strike out anyway, you got to go up there with the mindset of, I'm going to put the ball in play. I can't guarantee that it'll get through. I can't guarantee that I won't hit it right at somebody, but my mindset is, I'm going to put the ball in play. The bat's going to hit the ball. If I strike out, oh, well, no big deal. Derek Jeter made the Hall of Fame almost unanimously by getting out 7 times out of 10, you know? So, you know, you have to have that mindset that you will succeed. And then your actions and your results are going to come from that. If you sit there and just have like the Eeyore effect, everybody remembers Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, and think, why me? This is happening to me. Why me? This is crazy. And you get all miserable on yourself. It's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's going to set you way back, right? So the elements of attitude that you have to look at is having the commitment, the desire, the outlook, and the responsibility. The ideal attitude. Commitment is the link between attitude and behavior, okay? It's what turns dreams into goals and thoughts into actions. That's what commitment means. Desire is the motivation to do whatever it takes to succeed. If there is a will, there is a way. And your outlook is a belief of possibility. You want to adopt that outlook that anything is possible. It's an abundance mindset that allows you to see opportunities to win. Right? And then responsibility is the key, owning what you can control and not allowing yourself to externalize the problem or make excuses. Right? So you have commitment, desire, outlook, and responsibility. These are the elements of the ideal attitude that you need to have, not only today in a changing world, but all the time. All the time you need to have that. Right? You need to rewrite your beliefs, and you need to look at it from an aspect of this crisis allows me and my team to do the following. We can take time to work on our business instead of just in it. We can focus on what is truly important to us and our clients. Clean your pipeline. Get to yes and no faster. Take out all the placeholders, right? If there's stuff in there that's just kind of taking space and not progressing, go for the no. Get it out there. Get it out of the pipeline. Get ahead of the competition who choose to freeze or flight. Many of your competitors, like I said earlier, they might not do anything about this. They might sit back. They may take some time off. Okay, continue doing what you're doing. Change it up a little bit. Be more caring. Find out what's going on and how you can help. Let your clients know that you're a resource for them. You want to understand the real and immediate pains of your clients? Now you can take a look at your margins and your prices. We talked about earlier. I have several clients that are wondering, should they be giving discounts? This is the perfect time to take a look at your offering. Take a look at your profitability. And you want to become a stronger, pressure-tested team. Okay. Is it possible that any of these statements are true? Can any of you take a look at this and does any of them sort of resonate with any of you of some of the things that you could be doing?
I mean, 100%. I'm the guy here in media sales, and unfortunately, the first thing people cut is their advertising budget, and I have to be the one to turn around and say, that's the last thing you probably should cut based on what's going to be happening moving forward, and finding those key little, you say clean your pipeline to get to a yes and no faster, but looking for that opportunity and finding that key wording and changing my messaging to talk to maybe even new clients. So I agree 100% with what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you might want to think about. And I've done this for several of my clients. You know, I have clients that have been in training programs with me for a long time, and they're struggling a little bit right now. And they come to me and said, Scott, I think we need to stop for a little while till we get through this. And my answer right back to them was, I'm not going to let you stop. You got too much momentum going. We've come too far together. You're staying in the program. I'm going to waive April's invoice. Right now, does that hurt me? Absolutely, it hurts me because I'm in the same position as everybody. Right, I've absolutely lost speaking engagements, training engagements. But you want to take care of your clients. You want to let them know you're here for them. Now, Kevin, I don't know if your boss would allow that. Someone that's willing to drop, say, you know what, don't worry about next month's advertisement. That's on us. Right?
So it turns more into like the added value side of it. So it might not be a full invoice that we drop, but it's from the radio side, a couple extra commercials here and there. The digital side, an extra week of geofencing or something along those lines. So that's kind of where, so it's not so much dropping an invoice, but it's finding ways to make it seem as because value is what really drives sales in my industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, and Brian Duffy, I see you're on the call. I know, I got an email from my Allstate. Allstate takes money out of my account every month for our insurance. And I got an email that said that they're putting, I think, 15% back into my account for the next couple of months. Right? To me, that goes a long way. So next time that I think about maybe farming out my insurance business, I want to remember that they were here for me when I needed them. Right? Those are the types of things that you want to do with your clients.
Sure.
One of the things I like that you said a lot, Scott, is that take time to work on your business instead of just in it. I know we have done so many changes to make our business more effective, things we probably should have done earlier, but now forced to do them quicker and getting them done. And then, we're also using some of our time to clean up things that need to be taken care of so the business runs more efficiently when we're busier. So we really have worked on that. And we're finding that that's keeping us busy and keeping us, I was going to say entertained, but that's because Jill and I live our entire days entertained. We find ways to entertain ourselves. But we really have been able to focus a little bit more on, again, what's important to us, what's important to our clients, what is our message. And so we've really been working a lot on that, trying to be as beneficial to our clients, our members and non-members as we can.
Yeah, I mean, we have, if you think about it, if you think of commute times back and forth to the office, if you travel, all your windshield time going from meeting to meeting, account to account, state to state, if you have more of a national territory, all that's gone. We all have a lot of extra time on our hands. What are we doing about it? Are we watching Netflix? Are we watching the news? Yeah, sure. Build a little bit of that. Do a little bit of that for sure. But when you want to take a look at your business, start with planning, right? Do your personal goals align to your business goals, right? Do you take a look at your vision, your mission? Take a look at your positions within your organizations. Are you set up the right way? Make sure that you have the right positions that will get you to your goal, that will get you to the level of success that you want, right? Are you missing somewhere in your organizational chart? Are you missing an important cog? Take a look at your org chart. Do you need to rewrite some of those job descriptions? Then you take a look at your people. Now's a great time to take a look at your people. Notice I said positions first and then people, because sometimes we might have the right people in the wrong positions, right, within our organization. So take a look at your org chart. Make sure you have the right positions that you need. Then make sure you have the right people. Don't force people out of loyalty into the wrong position. Use them in the right way, but take a look at it from that aspect, right? And then how do you, it's a whole nother webinar on this called organizational excellence, but you have the time to do it now. It's uncomfortable making prospecting calls right now, and I admit that. But every person on my list in my CRM that had told me in the past that timing wasn't good, they didn't have the time, I've reached out to all of them. Again, not putting a hard sell on, but time is what they have now. Time is what they have now, and they're investing in their people. They're investing in their professional development, and now's a perfect time to take a look at doing that as well, right? So, because you will read about, yes, there are people out there that are very worried that they may have to close their doors from this, and it's very scary, and I get that, and I don't want to be callous to that, but many people know that they will get through this, and they will survive this, and it will be difficult, but they will survive it. They will survive it. And my last bullet point there, they're going to become a much stronger pressure tested team from it, right?
I
We have
think
to take a
Andrea
look. I
has a
spoke.
question.
Sure.
Andrea, do you have
No.
a question?
No, I really don't. I just have a comment. I mean, I don't sell anything, except I do coach people on how to do what I do. And I don't sell that. When I talk to people, they find out and then they're interested. But
Yeah.
I have been reaching out to hundreds of people. So every day I spend 2 or 3 hours on a phone calling people on my investor list. Just, how's your business? What are you finding struggles? Here's what I'm hearing in different places. Offering information, not asking for a thing, because I'm really not. And I've gotten clients because I'm doing that. It's doing no more than talking to people and letting them know, you know, how can I help you? There's nothing you can do for me, because there isn't. Very few
Absolutely.
people that I talk to can help me. So I'm very happy to help other people, and it comes back.
Absolutely. It's a giver's mentality. You know, just like all our networking, and that's where I originally met Andrea a few years ago in different networking groups. You got to give before you can get, right? So have a giver's mentality. I'm not saying give away your store. I'm not saying give away all your product and service. Give some of your time, give some of your referrals, give some of your networking, but have that sort of giver's mentality right now, because, you know, in a competitive environment, when things are back to semi-normal, in a competitive environment, it's, you know, if you're selling an item that could be considered commoditized, and it's you versus the competition, they're going to choose the person they like better. They're going to choose the person that they bond better with, that they trust more, or the person that was there for them in a tough time, right? Which could be you, right?
Now,
So take advantage of that.
Scott, I am curious. What do you say to someone whose main focus before this all started was new business development, and now either has to rely on those relationships that you're talking about now, that I've built up a very strong relationship, but still trying to find a way to manipulate a new business development call and making sure that I'm not rubbing people the wrong way or crafting my message a little differently, trying to get new business on air or digital or social?
Right. Well, the first thing, it's with your tonality. It's making sure that you always use a nurturing tonality, right? When I say nurturing tonality, think back to when you were a kid and your parents took you shopping for some school clothes, and your dad said, those jeans are expensive. When you get home from school, you better change them before you go to the park with your friends. And you don't listen to them, and you go to the park with your friends in your school pants, and you rip them. You fall and you rip them. You come home, your mother uses that nurturing tonality on you that kind of says, "Oh, are you okay? Let me wipe the blood off your knee. Let me get you a Band-Aid." And then your father takes a look at it and says, "What the hell's wrong with you? I told you to change your pants." Right? Now they're ripped. I'm not buying you new jeans. You're going to wear ripped jeans all year. It's all about with the tonality. You are still in business development, and you want to go out there and you want to find out how this is affecting your prospects that you've been talking to, what you can do, how you can help them. Right? Find out how you can help them. And again, it doesn't mean giving away things free. It just potentially means that you're there for them. And always ask them this question: how would you like me to maintain my contact with you? Because I certainly don't want to lose the momentum that we've built in this time. And ask them how they would like to move forward, right? But have a nurturing mentality along with that.
Great, thank you.
No problem. We spoke about attitude earlier. Now I want to take a minute to talk about behaviors. Things have changed, right? Sales meetings, travel, ride-alongs, networking events, in-person calls, event marketing, lunch meetings, they're gone right now. They're paused. The new behaviors are video conferencing, online learning, virtual training, cold calling and emailing, thought leadership, webinars like this, online events, client relationships. I mean, this is the new normal. This is the new normal. And guess what? When COVID is behind us, I think it's going to become even more and more difficult to get a lot of face-to-face meetings, especially with different organizations. I remember back in my old days of working in the life science industry, I used to sell to all the big pharma accounts, and we had free access and free reign to all the pharma accounts. We could go in there, we could talk to the researchers, we could talk to the buyers. As soon as 9/11 happened, everything shut down. It became more and more difficult to get appointments. Everything had to be preset. Everything had to be escorted, right? So I think you're going to see some changes that really stay from this, unfortunately, right? And so we have to adapt to them, right? So get used to Zoom, get used to video conferencing. Instead of just picking up the phone and talking to your clients, ask them for a video conference. Ask them to do this, get in front of them. You can talk face to face, right? If you're not going out to see clients, don't sleep till 10 o'clock and come down into your office in your bathrobe. Get dressed, do your hair. I do my hair every day, right? You still want to have the mentality that you're working, that you're professional. You're getting dressed. You're going into your office. The office may be in your house, but you still have behaviors that you have to accomplish. You still have to get on video calls. You still have to do some networking events digitally. Everyone's doing happy hours now, Zoom happy hours. You're probably thinking, I'm not doing that. That's crazy. Get involved in one or two of them. Do it. Do it, because people are struggling for contact right now, right? I know I got 4 kids that I'm quarantined with. Oh, I got to build an octagon in my backyard, right? For any UFC fans, fighting fans, because they're about to make me nuts, right? So do different things. Be different. You must adjust to the change. See, the good news is you can behave your way out of a funk. Right now, we're all in a bit of a funk through COVID-19. We're in the COVID-19 funk. We could behave our way out of it, do things differently. There's ways to keep your business going. It's just how quickly can you adjust to some of those new behaviors? How quickly can you adjust to some of the new mindsets that you have to have? Develop smarter goals. I think everybody's probably heard of SMART goals before. We've added an ER. Make sure your goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-bound, enjoyable, and rewarding. Right? Journal. Take out a journal. Journals aren't just for teenage girls these days. Write down positive affirmations every day in your journal. Write them down. Things that you're thankful for. Things that you're thankful for. Write them down every day. Okay. I said earlier, care for your clients. Right? You probably have to take some time now to reevaluate your account plan. Which clients fall into these categories, and how would you treat each category differently? So I'll tell you real quick. What does this type of account plan mean? Your keep accounts. Those are accounts that you have the business, good relationships, good profitability, no real opportunity for growth, but you need to keep and maintain that business. Your attain accounts. These are accounts that you don't have today. You have no business there, but you've identified there's ample opportunity within these accounts. That's where a lot of your growth will come from, because you have no business, but they're dealing with your competitors. So there are attain accounts. Recapture accounts. Recapture accounts is maybe business that you had at one point in time, but you lost it somewhere along the way due to a service issue, a pricing issue. There's some reason why you lost it. And then an expand account. An expand account is an account where you have business currently, but you only have a small wallet share. You know, there's a lot more wallet share at that account that you can go after. So take the time now to categorize your account base. Who's a keep an account? Who's a keep account? Who's an attain? Who's recapture? Who's expand? And if you kind of look at it this way, if you set up a territory plan and you need to grow your business, what accounts are you going to really, really focus on to grow your business, looking at it at this format? Any guesses? Where's your most immediate growth going to come from when you look at an account plan like this?
Your existing clients. Well, these all are, but yeah, I mean, your existing active clients are probably going to be the biggest ones you can expand on.
Yeah, Well, you have to be able to identify, because your keep accounts, your existing clients, you have to determine, do you have all the wallet share there, or do you just have a small piece of the pie? So you have to be able to discover the piece of the pie you have, right? So if you have all the business you possibly have there, you just need to, you want to maintain that business for sure. But your major areas of growth are going to come from the accounts where you have zero business today, and then the accounts where you have small wallet share. So you want to start identifying, and your behaviors need to then follow suit and say, if I'm making 10 dials a day, well, I'll make 2 dials a day to my keep accounts. I'll make 1 dial a day to my recapture accounts. And I'm going to make 3 dials a day to attain and expand. That's where I'm going to put my time, because that's where my most immediate growth is going to come from. Attain and expand. Right? So just something you want to think about, and how you set up your territory management. Take the time now. Set it up. We have time. And a couple of Sandler rules. You can't manage anything you can't control. You cannot control what's happening today. None of us can. You can't control it. Okay? And never manage your numbers. Always manage your behavior. If you do the right behaviors consistently, the numbers will get there. So you want to make sure that you have that consistency, which is the consistency is what connects your behavior to your technique in that success triangle, right? There's different techniques that you can do, but consistency is what connects those together in that triangle. So this crisis allows me and my team to redefine our behaviors, define our new normal, and establish new habits. What can you do differently? Think outside of the box. What can you and your team do differently? You can focus on shorter term, more laser focused goals on how are we going to get through this pandemic. What are we going to do to show our customers that we're there for them? What other services can we provide in the interim, potentially? Journal, practice gratitude every day. Write it down. This is going to force you to get out of your comfort zone. We all have comfort zones. And I will say this, true growth does not come until you get out of your comfort zone. So start developing the mindset of getting comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's where true growth comes from, being uncomfortable. And shine brighter than your competition, right? Let your competitions be the one that take a break right now. You need to continue to be out there, call your clients every day, let them, different ones every day, let them know you're here for them, find out how they're doing, and then reach out to your clients. I don't want to make this a commercial about Sandler, but now's a perfect time to develop your technique. It doesn't have to be Sandler. It doesn't have to be Sandler techniques, right? It could be anything you're doing, reading different books, reading some John Maxwell books, reading some other sales related books. But current conditions are perfect right now for learning and practicing, doing a lot of role playing with your teams to develop the comfort levels. You may be uncomfortable now. Everybody hates the word role playing, right? But now's the time to get with your teams and have touch points with your teams. If you have people that you work with, you want to have what we call an MMCI, a Monday morning check-in. Have a Zoom call with your team Monday mornings. Check in, what's going on, what's the plan for the week, right? Where do you need my assistance? Where do you need my help? Have a FACO, F-A-C-O, a Friday afternoon check-in as well, right? So your Monday morning check-ins, your Friday afternoon check-ins. Practice, role play, have Zoom meetings. Don't take a break, right? Keep working on you, whatever it is that you do. We have a lot of free stuff that we're offering right now at Sandler. There's an app called My Sandler that has a plethora of great information in there, podcasts, courses, you name it. And I'd be happy to share that with all of you. But, everybody has a smartphone today. Go on your app store and download My Sandler. There's some really great stuff on there. Get comfortable doing video conferencing, working from home, maintaining your health. This is crazy, but I still go out. I walk my dogs. I haven't walked my dogs in years. We have a fenced-in yard. I open the sliding door. They run out. They do their business. Eventually, they come back. We've been walking the dogs. My gyms are closed. I'm putting on the quarantine 20 for sure, right? So I got to get out there and walk and exercise. So we're taking the dogs for walks. Go for that bike ride. You know, do for the different things. And I want you to, you know, some little checks and balances, right? If you look at the screen, you see the gentleman on the iPad there, right? But you see the presenter kind of holding the iPad down, and he's looking right up her nose. So, you know, try and have your camera level with who you're talking to, right? I have 2 cameras in my office right now. I only have one on. You sometimes see me looking up like this. I'm looking at my other camera and I realize it's not on. And you're probably saying, what the hell is he looking at? Right? But I'm looking at the monitor in my office. But you want to take a look at your techniques, and your results are what link your techniques to your attitude, right? Be sure you only allow that link to be positive. There's no place for negativity in this. Have an abundance mindset, a positive attitude. We're checking on your team's attitude. Make sure your team knows what to do. Collect and share best practices. Create a routine. Focus on time blocking top priorities. We can all get lost working from home. Put in your calendar what needs to get done, those activities that need to get done, and commit to that calendar and make sure you do them. Work on your goal time, not your clock time. And, you know, update your sales playbook. If you sell, now's a perfect time to kind of update that playbook on the connect questions that you work with clients, the upfront agreements that you have with them, 30-second commercials, tell me about your pain, how can we help, you know, things like that, objection handling, work on all these. And I got 2 more slides and then we can open it up for questions. But never end a meeting without a clear future, right? A clear future is whenever you're on the phone with a client, you want to find out what's next, and put it to them. Jill, what would you like to see happen next after this call? Right? Always ask them what happens next. Put it in their words. Okay. Over communicate. Sorry, missed a slide there. Over communicate and post sell everything. Give and listen first. Build relationships by staying connected. Build authority by adding value. And build intimacy by opening up and being personal. Okay, now is your chance to show your skills, your management, sales, and customer service skills. Do it with what we call virtual ride-alongs, right? Nobody's going out to see customers today, but that doesn't mean that you can't set up, again, these Zoom calls and do a conference call with your team together with a client, and do a lot of role-playing. Do a lot of role-playing with your team. Get them involved. Now's, again, the perfect time to work on their skills and get them situated with what they need to do, right? So from that aspect, that's my presentation. Questions?
I don't have any questions. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, hold on, Andrea, you're muted. Oh, you don't have any questions?
Nope, just thank you very much. Very, very informative.
Thank you, Scott.
No problem. And again, so I have I'm doing something right now. It's on LinkedIn. It's on my website. I'm offering free coaching calls just to help people out through this crisis. So if anybody wants to take advantage of that, very simple to do. I can be contacted by email, by phone. We can set up some time to talk, and I'd be happy to put together some time with you all. Okay.
Scott, what is your, I'm going to just type it in right now in the chat so everyone will have it. What is your where can they go to find that?
So you can find me on LinkedIn. You can just go to search Scott Bliss on LinkedIn, or my email address is scott.bliss@sandler.com. And my website is maximumperformance.sandler.com.
Maximum
performance.sandler.com.
And I don't want to put you on the spot, but I don't know if you're allowed to share that PowerPoint with us.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. So if you could do that and email it to me, I will make sure I can email it to everybody on the call. If I don't have your email, which Brian, I don't think I have yours. If you want to send me your email at director@emac.org, I will make sure you get a copy of the video recording as well as the slides that Scott had for us as well.
Yeah, no problem. And one other thing, I do a lot of virtual training. I have a virtual training class right now, Mondays at 3 o'clock, 3 to 4:30. And anybody that wants to sit in as a guest to one of our trainings, more than welcome to. Just contact me ahead of time and I can send you the link to join the call. It's all through Zoom. And again, it's Mondays from 3 to 4:30. So if anybody's interested in sitting in, no charge, no strings attached, you can check it out. And if you have any questions, you could let us know.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Scott.
Monday, we have at 11:30 on Monday morning, we have Kathleen Connolly from Lindaberry, McCormick, Esterbrook, and Cooper. And she's going to be covering a lot of the new laws that have passed as far as family leave and all that employment laws. So if anybody's interested in joining us then, you are welcome to join us then. Register and get the login. So
Thank you, Jennifer.
thank you. Have a good
Cheers.
Have a
night.
good day. Bye.
Everyone,
Hi, Kelly.
cheers.
Thanks for joining us from so far away. We appreciate it.
Who?
Kelly, she joined us from far away.
Where's far away? There's no far away when you're on Zoom.
Ohio. Ohio.
Wow.
Her business is in Ohio, so EMACC is ranking, I have to say. So anyway, thank you guys for everything. We will see you next week.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.